Hi, all you SPMEs out there. Today's video has 3 points, and you're going to want to stick around because the third point is a secret as to exactly why you deserve to be read, the number one reason, and so you're going to want to stick around for that. So let's get into it. You just have finished writing your book, or you're considering writing a book, and you're not completely sure whether or not the world wants to read your book or deserves to read your book. And it makes a bit confusing for you because you're thinking at one level you have a story or you have some ideas and expertise in a particular area or in multiple areas, but then when it comes down to it, you're not sure exactly if you should even bother to write the book, or maybe you've even written the book. And now at this point in the game, you're thinking, do I put it on the market? Won't it be embarrassing? Haven't the ideas already been put out there? And so you're having this imposter syndrome. You're feeling like, well, people are going to think I'm like this, but in reality, maybe I really don't know so much about this exact topic that the book is on. And so who wants to even hear your story? And this is a lot of the ideas that are going through the minds of many authors when you're getting ready to put a book onto the market or considering writing a book in the first place. And that is what we're going to discuss in today's video. This is Chris Baird from selfpublishingmadeeasynow.com, where self-publishing doesn't have to be so hard. Hit the subscribe button if you find this video to be useful, because I want to reach as many authors just like you as possible, and that is the number one way you're going to help them get past the YouTube algorithm, which is burying my videos, and find these videos. In addition, go ahead and check out my free self-publishing checklist below in the description, where you can get the tools necessary to get started with your self-publishing journey, and also, if you have a book on the market, start getting it to make sales. So let's get into it. When I first got started self-publishing, I realized that my ideas were adjustments on piles of books that I had read. And the thing is that I've read a lot of books, awful lot of books on goal achievement, on habit formation and keeping the right habits and breaking bad habits, and in terms of efficiency and productivity. And when I started implementing these ideas in my own life, I came up with variants and ways of doing it. But then the idea would be, is it really worth telling anybody else? Because after all, aren't these ideas already out in the world at this point already? So I'm just rehashing and putting it together and synthesizing old information in new ways. Well, the answer is, though the ideas weren't told weren't told exactly like I'm doing it. It is true, those ideas are out there, but the way that I personally was putting them out there, that is unique. And it reaches people in a way that other people giving the exact same ideas or even the same story haven't done it in that way, because it is my voice, and my voice reaches some people and it turns off other people. And that's the exact same truth when it comes to your voice as well. And so I started to get a little of the imposter syndrome, but began to realize and internalize what I had read in many of these books, telling you that you have amazing ideas that the world wants to hear. You have stories that the world wants to hear. And so you shouldn't be depriving them of that. And the third thing is that readers who may have attended courses or even the top teachers, they just don't connect with them. And there's a chemistry that occurs whenever we listen or read any other person. Sometimes when I read something, I'm just like, this is so boring. And then somebody else says the exact same things, and it is the most exciting thing in the universe. And one of the reasons why this is also really important when it comes to self-publishing is because it helps to motivate you. And that's one of the reasons you're perhaps watching this video right now. I'm trying to be as motivational as possible to make it clear to you that self-publishing can be easy. Now, there are so many people who try to make it so complicated that authors who go through their programs and listen to them speak, it's confusing. They just get confused immediately. And one of my goals on this channel is to keep it as simple as possible. For the 316 videos, this is number 316, that I've produced specifically to help you overcome the barrier of feeling that it is difficult to self-publish, because it isn't. It's easy. It will take effort and work, but it can be done easily. And this video here is to motivate you to realize that your book deserves to be read, which is something that many authors really haven't internalized. They don't honestly believe that their book is something that people out there in the world deserve to read. They think of it, well, I'll just put another book out, or I'll put a book on the market, but they don't realize that there's more than just putting the book onto the market. And the thing is that after I put my books onto the market, I started finding readers and started getting emails from them telling me how helpful these books were at achieving their goals or building habits or getting better sleep or whatever the case would be, or even self-publishing. And so as a result, I started to understand that I was changing people's lives, just the same as you would change people's lives with your books, whether it's fiction and you have your stories you want to get out, or whether it is nonfiction and you have some method or technology, maybe with puppy training, or maybe how to do lawn care, or maybe it's dealing with all sorts of alternative medicine or whatever else it might be that you wish to get out into the world to help people better live their lives, that's something that you deserve to get out to them. They deserve to get that exact content. So you deserve to be read, and that is exactly what we're discussing here. The first point is that you are an expert and creative. I sort of misspelled those there, but the fact is that you have that expertise. The world deserves to hear from you. So as an expert on just being you and the perspectives that you have, these ideas are very, very powerful, and they're something that the world itself deserves to get to know and to understand, and it makes their lives much more fulfilled, and maybe you help alleviate suffering in the world. And if you're into fiction, your creative side coming out in that fiction and the stories that you have, that also can make a huge difference in many people's lives when it comes to getting stories into their minds, taking the tediousness of their lives and giving them something to escape to, something that's bigger and better, ideas that they've never considered. And these are all things that are in your head, you see? And the goal is to take the ideas, and they even can look and see in the brain, the neural synapses in the brain, and they can see the patterns in the brain. When you tell a story, the other person's patterns start to match it. And so your stories actually are getting into the minds of your readers and changing them as people. And this is something that you really ought to be doing. The other thing is your stories and knowledge is something that people want to read. There are piles of people who want to read your thoughts. Even if you can't express them perfectly and you have a grammar mistake here or there, like I just had in the previous point, it's something that they deserve to read. So why would you deprive them of that ability to read it? And they're out there. Those readers, they are out there. No matter who you are and what ideas you have, whatever stories you have, there are people who will be excited to read those stories and learn from you. And now the secret point and answer of the day, it's that it's almost unethical to sit on these ideas of yours and these stories. You owe it to yourself and your future readers to make it not only by getting them onto the market, but make it easy for them to find your books and to consume your books. And that's one of the reasons I've created courses in terms of like formatting to make sure your book is formatted properly so that you're able to get it out there, or my content marketing course that you find below in the description to make sure that your readers are going to be able to find you, connecting with you. I connect with you as a reader. As a result, I buy your book. As a result, I buy your other books. And I tell my friends and family and share it on social media, and I give you positive reviews. In exchange, you begin to get paid for that. Your royalties start going up, and you're encouraged to write more books because you see you are, in fact, an author. And no matter what anybody tells you, that is, in fact, what you are if you've put a book out onto the market. And so you really need to remember that, and your audience deserves to be reading your material. So my question for you today is, do you think your books deserve to be read? If you feel they don't deserve to be read, then write no below in the comments. And if you do believe they deserve to be read, write yes below in the comments, because that will help me understand just how big of a problem this is. And check up above me here for more video answers to your self-publishing questions. Thanks.